Okay, in this session, I am going to go through just this iris area of this cat's eye here and just show you how to blend colors on drafting film. Hopefully we can finish in less than half an hour, although that's a bit ambitious for this kind of drawing. As I showed you in the other session, the line drawing is behind this drafting film on a separate piece of paper, printed. So I am going to start right away with black polychromos. Just go and color this pupil in with this black part. It just, all we have to do is just to fill it in, nothing else really. I thought I would choose this cat's eye because I can go through a lot of sessions from now till Friday to finish whatever I want to say just using this cat's eye. The next thing is to fill in these two highlights. So I am going to use white to go through this part. This is white from Polychromos. Just going ahead, fill in these two parts. Okay, now the next thing to do is to create this area with different greens. I am using a range of Prismacolor to do this. For these lighter parts, I have chosen this blue green, which is called jade green. So I'm just going to use very gentle pressure going with round. On drafting film, the way to blend colors is to go really gentle, and colors really don't blend, but you can actually mix them or layer them, so you can actually see it's like an illusion of blending rather than the real blending of the pigments. I mean, color pencil is a dry medium, so you can't expect it to blend the same as it does on other like painting medium like acrylics or oil, but it does on surfaces like Pastelmat especially. You can very effectively mix the pigments together, layer them on the top of each other, which is in a way blending really. But on drafting film, even that doesn't happen. But the way to actually layer colors together and make a smooth transition between the two colors is basically to go really gentle. The pressure that I am applying on this part is really gentle. I am hardly touching the paper, but because of the texture that I can see in this cat's eye, I am using these round and round shapes going to mark these lighter areas. And definitely you should go from light to dark. Mark the light areas first. I am going to talk about subtraction techniques tomorrow, in which case you can put light colors on the top of darker areas, but that is not really putting the colors on the top of each other. It's taking one out and putting the other one in. So if you want to, now I am starting to, this is the way that I blend. I interrupted myself just to explain this to you, that when you want to blend two adjacent colors with each other on drafting film, this sort of open-ended hatching or stroke is really, really useful. Still, the pressure is really gentle. You see that you can't really move the pigments on drafting film. What you can do on Pastelmat, and to some extent on a smooth paper, on hot press paper, but what you on drafting film, the pigment does not move. They just sit next to each other or layer on the top of each other. So there is a delusion of mixing colors. I'm just covering these lighter areas. And after that, I'm going to move on to a darker green. It might not be exactly the same green which is in the picture, but it's okay. Again, the combination of these round shapes, because there is a texture in this eye. And drafting film has a nice texture in the surface, so if you go really gentle, you can pick up the texture in the paper, which helps in this sort of eye. And I'm going between the other light color. Going in between those textures that was I created before. I was saying before that in this video my goal is to show you that on drafting film, the way to create texture and transition is just by gentle strokes of pencil. And gently going from one color to another, because the pigment don't really move on the surface of drafting film. So I'm going back and forth with these circular movements, really gentle pressure. Okay, I'm gonna use this olive color, which is kelp green, to create these areas between the green parts between these this textured iris. So basically you create a base color, gentle strokes. I mean that area is really dark, so it doesn't look green, although if I put a green color down, it would give it a good base for what I want, what I see there. So I'm gonna just go and gently create this, as I said, because because it's got a good like a texture, like a material texture, drafting film. If you go really gentle on the surface, you pick your pencil strokes will pick up that texture, which is good for this sort of this sort of drawing. For the center of this this iris, I am using a yellow green. And again, I am leaving some space in between my strokes because I'm gonna use another color on the top, and I want that color to be able to go between these strokes that I'm doing now. Now that the first layer is down, I am going to just fill this up with this bluish green again. I'm still using really gentle pressure, soft pressure. The reason that I'm not saying the name of the colors is because the idea is not to mention the colors, it's about the technique actually. Okay, so the next thing I am going to do is just to get my dark color, which is the dark sepia, and sharpen it. And just go around this eye and make all these dark lines dark, so I can actually put my blank card underneath, and I really don't like having these graphite lines around what I am doing. So it's good to have these lined up and then get rid of our line drawing by inserting the card underneath. You have to watch the previous video to realize what I mean, but I will explain it to you now when I start doing it. I am using these sort of fairy strokes here only because I am this part is approaching the cat's hair. So if you put your strokes already in the hair direction, suggesting the hair, it would make it easier later on. I don't think we're gonna have time to finish or go on the fair tonight, and tonight there was no my intention was not to do the fair anyway, so that is going to be done tomorrow when we do the subtraction techniques. And then there is a distinctive line here and here. So now I'm going to just put my card underneath this drafting film like that, and get rid of all the line drawing, so I can do this drawing without worrying about the lines. So getting the black, this is Prismacolor black, and I'm just going to go ahead and make these parts really dark because they are dark and there is no two ways around it. The only part that is slightly lighter is this edge that I will lighten in a minute with a little bit of gray. And there is a little highlighty area here as well that can be created by scratching, but also it can be done with a lighter color. These parts are completely black, so I'm just going to blacken it up, make it black. And also here is very dark. For this part I'm going to use go back to my dark sepia, because this surrounding area, I'm using hard pressure here. This surrounding area is not as dark as the actual around the iris, so if I use this, and I'm gonna leave a gap here to use a lighter color. Probably use it now. I'm going to use this is sepia 10%. Just put a little lighter area there, and then going on the top of that with the dark sepia would blend it, and this is how you blend on a drafting film. light gentle pressure. And then it becomes dark again on this side. So using black, and in here I'm leaving a gap again. Because there is a little bit of lighter color that we can actually use dark sepia to create, because it's not that much lighter, it's just slightly lighter here. At the edge here we have a distinctive light area that I did with white. And the rest of it is, again, I'm using black. When somewhere is quiet monocolor, it's okay to just go in and burnish it, color it with the dark pencil, in this case black. Using circular movements on this area because I want to have a smooth surface. The pressure is medium. Okay, now that this is done, I can go back and finish my iris. So for the last layers of this iris, I'm going to get my dark sepia and gently go on the top of this area, really gently. I'm just gonna try it. Maybe this is too dark. If it's too dark, then I'm gonna go back to something like a lighter color. But it doesn't seem to be dark for making this glazing. Even going on the top of this yellowish green. And it's good to sort of drag some of this iris black out because it's not a straight line, it's like hazy. As I'm approaching on the top here, I'm gonna increase my pressure to make it darker. It's actually very dark up there, so I'm gonna make a point of that. And as you can see, I'm using the side of my pencil, and by doing that I use some texture of coming out of the paper as well as the texture that I have created before by circular movements. But I am putting a few layers here. as it comes down, I reduce my pressure to put less pigments down, and as I'm approaching down here, it actually goes like a radial movement. Really, this is really gentle, you know, it's just glazing. Okay. And for the, I'm gonna get this blue-green again and try to create this sharp color around this highlight. This highlight is like a box. And slightly going in. I haven't chosen the exact colors on purpose because it doesn't really matter what you use as long as it is greenish color. I used a lot of pressure over there. There is one edge here. I want you to just choose whatever color you have. Going on the top of this area, using medium pressure to go between what I created before. Then getting the dark sepia back again, I'm gonna go on the top here and create really dark area. I'm using I'm not using a hard pressure, but I am actually making a good suggestion of this color. I'm making sure that the pigments are going down. And also around this edge, just blending, dragging out some of this black. And as I'm going up here, it's darker. So the conclusion of this session is that on drafting film, you can't really blend the colors, but you need to use gentle pressure where the colors are mixing together in order to drag pigments towards each other and gently overlap them together rather than making a real blend. And that would make a good illusion of blending. Where you have to bear in mind that you don't get a chance to use as many layers as you would do on Pastelmat or even on a hot press paper. So you've got to make up your mind about colors quite early in the process. So I'm going back again in here, making this area darker and darker. Rather than doing it in one go, you do it in a few layers to make sure that the paper doesn't get saturated and gets out of control, the saturation of the paper. So now that my first layers are done properly, when I am using my circular movements again, these go and sit in between what I've done before and creates the texture that I am after. And by using a singular color on the top of everything, you basically integrate all those colors together. They come together in a nice way. Go between other colors as well. Getting the light green again, going on this part. Okay, and also on this part again to integrate these colors together. And I'm going to use my black. This is the Prismacolor black, and darken these areas that a little slightly more, and in here on the top, because it's really in the shadow. If you just glaze over the other colors, it is quite translucent and it's not going to cover other colors. Just glazes up. And also this part is really dark, so it wasn't enough to put the dark sepia down. I probably have to blend this with this is the walnut brown. So because it's a drier pencil, I can make a better blend with it than Prismacolor is very soft. So tomorrow night I am going to come back and do the fur of around this eye, and hopefully by the end of this week we can frame this portrait, this little cat's eye. Gonna go on the top of that as well. Here's the iris of the cat. Thank you very much for watching.